Hey guys, it's Gary from Rise of the Gay Cinephiles. Just giving a trigger warning that given some of the films within the era we're discussing, these episodes may include discussions surrounding sexual assault and various types of discrimination. And I'd also like to give a disclaimer that although we've done our research and watched many films for this season, we haven't watched every single millennial teen film. As difficult as it was, we've somehow managed to narrow it down to the most relevant ones. But if we've missed any out that are your favourites, feel free to give us some recommendations. Enjoy the show. Hello, welcome to Rise of the Gay Cinephiles, the show where we, two gay cinephiles who watch way too many films, discuss various themes and eras of cinema. I'm Gary.
And I'm Chris.
And for this season, we're making our way through the teen cinema boom of the late 90s and early noughties. Welcome back to Scream As If You Know 10 Things I Hate About Bandcamp, or how millennial teen movies taught me everything I know about sex, friendship, and the American dream. And for this episode, for the first time in a while, it's not a two-parter. We are delving into the year.
The year, 2001.
The year, the significant year.
Yes.
That kind of changed everything. Really
changed a lot of things
because of tragic circumstances.
Definitely, yeah.
But changed a lot.
Yeah.
So before we get to all that depressing stuff, what's new with Chris and Gary?
What is new with Chris and Gary?
Well, the last one was a two-parter, so a lot is new with Chris and Gary.
Oh, that's true. Yes,
we have watched a lot of films.
We have, yes.
I'm gonna start with a recent favourite. And that is the return of the franchise. No, do you know what? I'm going to give you two recent favourites that are part of the franchises that never fail. And that is Toy Story 5 and Evil Dead Burn.
Oh, yes.
Like, seriously, how? How do these franchises keep going and just never released a bad film?
Yeah, people have been a little mixed on Toy Story 4 and 5, but I eat that shit up. So I love Toy Story. I love the jokes. I love the characters. I love what the films say. Yeah, love Toy Story 5 and Evil Dead Burn. You know, another great entry into the Evil Dead franchise.
Mm-hmm.
If you like Evil Dead, if you like big, gory, horrible splatter movies, then it's definitely your thing.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's my second favourite horror franchise. My second favourite franchise, it's the Toy Story and Evil Dead are the only two franchises where I've given every single film 5 stars. It's a rarity, and it's so impressive. I love them both a lot. And if you haven't seen either, I recommend you go see them. Also, Gasp took place between the first part of 2000 and now. So of course all of those films are highlights. Absolutely. Because we run the thing and we don't show bad films. But yeah, it's just we don't do it a lot, but a little plug for Gasp. Gasp Horror Film Festival across all social media. We run it, and it's a horror festival dedicated to filmmakers within marginalised communities. If you haven't heard of it yet, go and check it out. If you have heard of it, you have great taste. So we've also watched Better Tomorrow.
Yes.
And did you love it?
I certainly did.
I was hoping for a bigger reaction for that one.
So, we're getting 4K releases of a lot of the Hong Kong action thrillers of the late 80s, early 90s. And A Better Tomorrow was playing at the cinema near us, our local independent cinema.
And it looks incredibly 90s, because it's actually from 1986.
Yeah.
It's John Woo. Kind of, I mean, I don't know, I haven't seen all of his films, but from what I've seen, kind of going against type a little. I mean, the action scenes are very clearly John Woo, but this is a melodrama.
Very melodramatic. Yeah, it is very campy, very melodramatic, very over the top. Yeah, an incredibly fun film to watch. Loved seeing it on the big screen in 4K.
We also watched La Bonheur, the Agnes Varda masterpiece.
Yeah, I think Agnes Varda is certainly one of my favourite directors, and I think I can speak on Gareth's behalf and say she's
Yeah, of
definitely
course.
potentially top 5 for you, would you
Yeah.
say?
Which is wild because actually we've only seen 3 of her feature-length films.
Mm,
The rest are all short films that we've seen.
yeah.
She's just a fantastic director, has a very specific style to her craft, and the way she depicts the lessification, might be the right word, of women within Le Bonheur. The
Mm,
way men kind of minimalize women and just, reduce them to just mothers who do chores. It's depicted brilliantly within Le Bonheur in a way that it's almost like a horror film.
mm.
It's a feminist masterpiece.
Yeah, and looks fantastic too. Beautiful film.
On the same day, we also watched Devil Fetus, which
Oh,
was
I did.
so much fun.
Yes.
We watched 2046, again, Wong Kar-wai. Maybe even he's fast becoming my new favorite living director.
Mm.
2046 is the best film I've watched for the first time this year so far. It's just mind-blowingly good.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that it would just not a rehash, that's not the word, but I thought it would just hit the same notes that In the Mood for Love did. But no, it felt completely different.
Yeah.
Felt so new, so original. Yeah. Wonderful filmmaker.
We watched Come Drink With Me, which is one of the best to come from the Shaw Brothers.
Yeah, we had a great day that day. Lab on a Devil Fetus 2046. Come dine with me.
Come dine
Come
with
dine
me.
with me. Come drink with me.
Very different. But yeah, and we topped it off with Kaboom. Again, another one of my favorite directors, Greg Araki, who just makes the weirdest, wildest shit, and it doesn't always have to make sense.
No.
Because it's so entertaining.
Very excited for I Want Your Sex.
Yeah. We also watched The Furious, which is a really big new release. It's getting a great following.
Yeah.
Almost a cult following though already, because the screens are very limited. It's a category 3 film, a modern category 3 film, and it's just lots of fun action.
Yeah, yeah. Very over the top with the action. Again, very melodramatic as well. A great fun film. I mean, the subject matter is quite dark, but the action, there's quite a bit of humor in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I eat that shit up. I really love that kind of action movie. Yeah, highly recommend if you also like that.
And for my number one highlight of the month, which I assume is your number one highlight of the month, it's my second favourite film of the year so far.
Potentially, I think my top favorite film of the year so far.
It's The Invite.
The Invite. I fucking loved this film. I had so much fun with it. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf is one of my favorite films of all time, and this seems like a modern take on that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was absolutely hilarious. I thought the performances were pitch perfect, like really spot on. I'm not hugely familiar with Seth Rogen's work overall, but I've never really had a problem with the guy, but he does a great job.
Yeah.
He was the one that I was thought, oh, who knows? But Penelope Cruz, Edward Norton are fantastic. But Olivia Wilde,
Yeah.
really just as director and lead actress, I thought she did a spectacular job. I really, really enjoyed that film.
Yeah, it really is phenomenal stuff, and I assume it's going to do very well during award season. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't.
I hope so. I really do hope so. It's my kind of film. I thoroughly loved it. Loved it. I loved the very dialogue heavy. It's almost like a play, really. It's just one setting for the majority of the film, and just those 4 characters and how they interact with each other. It's absolutely phenomenal. Love, love, love it.
Yes. And now for a bit of shelf love. AIM Publicity, been wonderful again, and sent us a copy of the Coldplay. Coldplay. Oh my god, I fucking did it again. I cannot say the name of this film without saying Coldplay. Unlike Coldplay, I actually enjoy this trilogy. So let me get it right. Cold Prey. We have got the Cold Prey trilogy box set. And as always, with releases from the wonderful Second Sight, they've gone all out. Art cards, a massive book, so many special features, short films, commentaries, the lot. It's all there. And helped us discover a trilogy that, quite frankly, I had no idea existed until these films.
Absolutely. Not gonna lie, I had no idea. And then with this release, with these three films, we sat down and we watched them, and I had a fucking good time. It's a Norwegian slasher trilogy, from the mid 2000s. You know that's our cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, very 2000s in a way.
Extremely 2000s, which makes it all the more surprising that I haven't seen them already.
Exactly.
I feel like I watched everything that was released back then.
Exactly, and I'm mostly talking about the fashion and the haircuts, but in such a fantastic way.
Yeah, I mean, going from my least favorite to my favorite, the third film is admittedly the weakest of the trilogy, but even then, it's still very entertaining. Great deaths, and as an added bonus, it even has "You Keep Me Hanging On" by Kim Wilde in it, and you know what more can you ask for? The first film is my second favorite, and that is just a thoroughly entertaining slasher film. It doesn't bring anything new to the table, but it doesn't need to. It already makes great enough use of pre-existing tropes. And it does this whilst introducing what is a genuinely creepy killer. I love the outfit.
Yeah.
If you're not particularly enamored with the characters, it doesn't really matter, because by the time this guy shows up, he has such a big threat to the film that it just instantly makes it so much better. And I really like the final girl as well.
Yeah, I thought the design for the killer, the costuming for the killer was fantastic. Like genuinely really creepy. I loved the isolated snowy location.
Yes.
I thought it added some great cinematography and some beauty to the film as well. Yeah, I was very pleasantly, well, I say pleasantly surprised. I mean, I'd never heard of the film.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I had a great time.
The best of the trilogy for me, though, is Cold Prey 2. I think it's such a big improvement on the first film, and it's one of those sequels that does what worked the first time around, but also fixes the things that didn't work. And it does this by essentially using the Halloween 2 template of doing a hospital setting, following the first film's final girl, and everything's more bloody and more elaborate, and it's so much better for it. It's really, really a fun slasher.
Yeah. So it takes a lot from the first film, the isolated location, and moves it. But yeah, the characters great. Really enjoyed the second one just as much as the first one.
And all of these transfers are beautiful as always from Second Sight. They looked and sounded incredible. So if you haven't heard of Cold Prey and you enjoy 2000s horror, or if you have and you enjoy these films, the box set is out now wherever you get your physical media. But, well, actually, going from the 2000s to the 2000s.
Yes.
The year is 2001. The best-selling album is Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park.
It was. I had that album.
Yeah, it was in the Cruise household.
The
best-selling video game was also in my hands. It was Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Yes. The fourth year in a row for Pokemon.
I had Pokemon Gold.
Now, this hasn't aged well. Especially means it puts so much fucking money in our pockets. Unfortunately, the highest grossing film is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Boo.
The most viewed TV show in the US is Survivor, the Australian Outback edition.
Oh.
And in the UK is EastEnders.
Oh.
Very close on second place is the Only Fools and Horses Christmas special.
There we go. Only Fools and Horses was huge.
Yeah, I always remember the Christmas special.
Mm-hmm.
Watched it every single year. Best picture winner at the Oscars is Gladiator.
Are you?
I am. She deserved it. Good for her. Gladdy won the Oscar.
No.
No.
It's a fine film. It's a fine film.
Yeah.
I like it, but I'm in no rush to rewatch it.
At this time, I was honestly, I spent a lot of time in Butlins. That's as exciting as my life got at that point when I was 8 years old. Spent a lot of time in Butlins, played a lot of Pokemon, was obsessed with Lord of the Rings. I had like the magazines where you collect the figures and you painted them yourself. I believe it's probably also the time when I was collecting the James Bond magazines as well with the cards in, and
nice.
I was a fucking nerd. And and again, unfortunately, also Harry Potter. Did you have that phase?
No, I read the first book. My auntie bought me the first 4 books, so I didn't read the first one until the 4th one had been released. But I read the first book, watched the first film, and I didn't enjoy them. It just wasn't for me. And so I didn't carry on with any of it. It just wasn't really my thing.
Yeah.
2001, I think I was probably maybe getting more into... I mean, there's quite a few films that we're discussing
that you watched
going
at the time.
forward that I watched at the time, or at least a little bit after, but on their home media release.
Yeah, I mean, I would have watched Not Another Teen Movie at the time, which is wild, because I definitely shouldn't have watched it, and also I definitely didn't get any of the references.
No.
There are certainly films on this episode that I wish I'd watched at the time.
Yes.
Rather than Harry Potter, but of course, I watched the Princess Diaries at the time.
There we go.
We will get to that when we get to that.
I think I was probably still into wrestling 2001. I think it was 2002, maybe after the invasion. So after WCW was bought by WWE, that's after that storyline is when I kind of stopped watching religiously.
I do remember WWE was everywhere.
Yeah, this is towards the end. So sort of 98 to 2001 is really the height of wrestling, like huge. In particularly with what was known at the time WWF, but WWE. Yeah, and that's when I watched it like religiously.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what was going on with us. What was going on in the world at the time?
Yeah, obviously a lot of important events happened in 2001. But we'll start with January the 5th. A report reveals that doctor and former GP Harold Shipman had potentially killed hundreds of his patients. I remember that coming out.
Yeah,
like
same.
that, I didn't realize that was so long ago. But yeah, the UK
was this also the same year? And if it is, I'm sorry if it's already in your notes. But on the subject, was it the same year that those 2 caretakers killed 2 kids as well?
I'm not sure. Yeah,
or was that later down the line?
I think maybe a little later. Isn't it Ian Huntley?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that was late. That's not on my notes. But yeah, Harold Shipman, probably the most prolific killer in UK history, I think.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of his patients. On January the 9th, Apple announces iTunes. January the 12th, Lizzie McGuire premieres on the Disney Channel. We might talk about Lizzie McGuire in the future. January 15th, Wikipedia is launched. I didn't realise it was so old. Wow. On January the 20th, George W. Bush is inaugurated. On June the 7th, Tony Blair wins another landslide victory in the general election. sorry, war criminal Tony Black. Oh, sorry, war criminal George W. Bush.
Wow. It's a good year for war criminals.
August 25th, R&B singer Aliyah and 8 others are sadly killed in a plane crash. I was a huge Aliyah fan. Huge. I was devastated. Like, I loved Aliyah.
Yeah.
Am I saying that right?
Aliyah, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Didn't say it, I don't say it out loud very often. On August the 27th, Angelina Jolie is named UNHCR Goodwill Ambassador. I remember that happening as well. I don't really know why. On September the 8th, Kylie Minogue releases Can't Get You Out of My Head.
She certainly did, and it was fucking everywhere.
It was everywhere. Incredible song. Absolute banger.
Yeah, one of the greatest pop songs ever written.
Absolutely.
But I do remember distinctly it being a number one for weeks.
On September the 11th, 2 passenger planes hijacked by Al-Qaeda terrorists crash into New York's World Trade Center towers, causing the collapse of both and deaths of 2,606 people. This is one of those moments where people can remember it distinctly where they were when it happened. I remember being in school and they put it on the TV at school.
Yeah, I think
during
it was the same for
lunch
me,
break,
actually.
I think.
Yeah, I think it was very much the same for me. I was in primary school.
Yeah. So I was secondary school. And I kind of knew what it meant. And what, I was 13. So I knew what it meant. And I knew what was going on. But I suppose I didn't really realise how huge it was.
Of course.
Now I realise what the World Trade Center towers were. Like I didn't really. I was like, oh, well, how many people are in there? What do they even represent? Like the towers, I didn't know they were businesses and such. But yeah, a massive sort of world changing event.
Yeah,
really.
It's wild that we were alive for that happening, but also to see. I mean, what was essentially the exploitation of it as well, with like all of the films that were made of it, like really quickly.
Yeah, I didn't realize there were so many films about it.
Like so many, and I remember watching a few of them, and it's incredibly disturbing stuff because it's so because you remember it happening. It just felt really disrespectful.
Do you think?
Kind of. Yeah, no, I do. It was way too soon. Like, we're talking like, what, 2 or 3 years after? Maybe even less?
Yeah, do you see them as cash grabs rather than this is a story that needs telling?
I think there was one main one. I think it was called Flight 93. And now that was probably, this is a story needs telling. It was all the ones that come off of that.
Yeah.
And like, sorry for anyone who hasn't seen Remember Me, but Remember Me, the Robert Pattinson film, using it as a twist. It's really really icky territory. But also we would have seen the change in airports as well following this.
Yeah, I mean we all watch films now from before 2001 and you see them running up to the plane, running through, checking and be like, no, the love of my life is about to board that plane, stop. Whereas now it's like...
There's a few films on this episode that deal with planes. And let's not forget, in the 2000s, in the last episode, or the episode before that, I think it was 2 episodes ago, we have Final Destination. All of those films now, so close to when it happened, you just look at them completely differently.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So also on September the 11th, the soundtrack to Mariah Carey's upcoming movie Glitter was released.
It certainly was.
It was. On September the 18th, first mailing of anthrax letters from Trenton, New Jersey occurs. I remember that happening as well. I didn't really know what anthrax was.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's something from decomposing animal parts.
Yeah.
And they put it into a powder and sent it to people. Like, very scary. On September the 18th, oh no, not 18th, excuse me, September the 20th, George W. Bush declares a war on terror. On September the 21st, Mariah Carey's movie Glitter is released. And if you've not seen that, do we recommend? So bad it's good, so bad it's entertaining.
It's a wild piece of history.
Yeah.
Particularly with her ramblings and rantings about how it was ruined by 9/11.
Yeah.
And if anyone has seen her famous viral clip of her being like, no, well, you don't want to talk about 9/11. It's clearly stuck with her, but for the wrong reasons. Love Mariah Carey. Yes, watch Glitter. I think you have to watch it at least once in your lifetime. And when you have, go back to our old episode where we spoke about it.
I think it's a bit like Spice World. I think it's you have to watch Spice World.
But I think Spice World's on another level.
Okay. On October the 7th, US invasion of Afghanistan begins. On October the 8th, UK reality singing competition Pop Idol airs its first episode.
Yes.
On October the 23rd, Apple releases the iPod.
Mm-hmm.
October the 25th, Microsoft releases Windows XP. Was that the one that was really bad? No, Windows 10. Is that the one that everyone hated? Yeah. November the 15th, busy year for Microsoft. They released the Xbox.
Oh.
And on December the 12th, Winona Ryder is arrested on shoplifting charges.
Oh.
Which is crazy how long ago that was.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think that completely ruined her career?
No. Maybe briefly.
Mm.
I mean, obviously it picked up again with Stranger Things. But
that's not brief then.
That's actually quite a while, yeah.
That's like 10 years?
Yeah. Is there another important event? A battle for Pop Idol.
Oh.
Was it Will Young and Gareth Gates, yeah?
Well, yeah, that would have been... so the first ever Pop Idol was Will Young versus Gareth Gates.
That's huge.
Yes.
That was big news.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, well, the first episode aired on October the 8th. I said that.
Yes. But, yeah, in all the homes across the UK, I think it was a deadly serious
It was quite divisive in school as well.
Yeah.
They were...
Gay versus straight.
Wow. And not the way round you thought it would be.
Wow, no.
But Gareth Gates very famous for his spiky hair.
Yes.
Like real proper gelled L'Oreal Fructis spiked
We say
hair.
gay versus straight. He's now doing prides in the UK. I mean, there's no other way of putting it. Literally showing off his bumhole.
Apparently, yes.
He's doing boy band in the buff, and apparently there are literally moments in his choreography where he bends over without any underwear on.
There we go.
But yes, Will Young, the rightful winner.
Yeah, I agree.
Team Will Young in this house.
Yeah, I was Team Will Young.
So yeah, a lot happened in the world. Some very dark stuff, and a lot changed, which is interesting for today's films because I think a lot of these were actually released before September 11th.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very weird time capsule of the same year at a different point. Starting with Save the Last Dance.
In a new world.
Cool outfit. Slamming outfit. Oh.
The only way to fit in.
What's she doing? Two-stepping? Sorry.
Is to be yourself.
Hip-hop is like an attitude. You can do it.
Thank you for the dance.
Save the Last Dance.
Here is your ID. She's ugly. She's 21.
Rated PG-13. Special sneak preview Friday, January 5th. Everywhere, January 12th.
Directed by Thomas Carter. Written by Dwayne Adler and Cheryl Edwards. Starring Julia Stiles, Sean Patrick Thomas, Kerry Washington, and Terry Kinney. And the premise is a white Midwestern girl moves to Chicago, where her new boyfriend is a black teen from the South Side with a rough, semi-criminal past. And a little bit about Save the Last Dance. There's less available online about this film than I thought there would be.
Mm.
This was Kerry Washington's first major role.
Mm.
She was working as a substitute teacher at the time and paid so little for this film that she had to return to that job. Consequently, she switched to only elementary school positions because high school students would show up to watch Chenille teach French.
Yeah, speaking of, just a little tidbit. I first watched this film when I was in secondary school, which is high school, essentially, here in the UK. And it was the end of term, and clearly the English teacher had enough. Could not be bothered. I don't know why we watched this in an English class. She clearly couldn't be bothered. So she puts on the film and tells everyone they have to write an essay over the holiday period, and come back and hand it to her. And because I was a good student, I think the only one who did it.
Yeah.
And I wrote an essay on Save the Last Dance.
Of course you did.
So apparently I'm an expert.
Well, we'll soon find out. My school did that. Didn't ask for an essay, and the film they put on was Wayne's World 2.
Oh, nice. I think.
Yeah, but yes, of course.
I mean, I like
Classic.
the first one. I haven't seen the second one in a long time.
Director Thomas Carter cast Julia Stiles in the role of Sarah after seeing her table dance in 10 Things I Hate About You, and he must have been really disappointed when he saw her dancing off of tables.
Yeah.
Let's go back though. Kerry Washington.
Yes.
That stinks. That's awful. She has a huge role in this film.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
She's the best thing about the film.
She is.
She gives the best performance of the film.
That is true.
And she wasn't paid enough to quit her job. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, sadly, it's a sign of the times.
Yeah.
She wasn't a name. She wasn't famous. So what's the point in paying her?
Yeah. So, Save the Last Dance.
Yes.
This film, that movie, it starts with a sequence that I can only describe as being the Suspiria remake many years before the Suspiria remake, in which Sarah does ballet whilst her mum gets into a car crash.
Yes.
And then there's a similar scene later on as well where something dramatic happens while she's doing ballet. And both of these scenes are edited in such a way that makes it look like Sarah is doing witchcraft with her ballet and causing these accidents to happen. And the look on Julia Stiles' face is kind of like, yeah, you deserve that. And it's so camp.
It is.
It is the highest of high camp. I was giggling. I found it so entertaining.
Yeah.
I really wish the rest of the film was about her doing witchcraft with ballet.
I would love that.
It would have been a much better film.
Killing all of her enemies via dance.
Yeah. I mean, she almost killed me with embarrassment watching her dancing when she was not doing ballet.
Yeah.
Who really, the table dance in 10 Things I Hear About You is great, but clearly her talent is restricted to tables.
Well, let's talk about the dance. This is called Save the Last Dance, and I think there's two things we can talk about.
No dancers were saved in this film.
No dancers were saved. Number one, it's very obvious that Julia Stiles is not doing all of the dancing. There's some of it, there is some of it, but you'll have close up on feet and legs and such, and it's very...
Every now and then it'll look good and you'll know it's not her.
Yeah, it's very clearly not her. And I like Julia Stiles, and I wanted to like her in this film, but I don't think it's a good performance. And it is very obvious that she's kind of... would I say uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Like, it's not really her kind of character. She
wouldn't.
was perfection in 10 Things I Hate About You. That was a perfect character for her. And I think she's not very equipped for this character. I don't think she gives a good performance in the film. She seems uncomfortable, which she's meant to feel uncomfortable at some points, but not throughout the whole thing. The dancing itself is kind of... I can't remember. I don't remember thinking it was cringe back in 2001. But now in 2026...
It's so cringe.
It's very cringe. The dancing in the club, particularly from Julia Stiles, particularly from Sarah.
Yeah.
Say Sarah or Sarah? Sarah.
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 Sarah. Let's just say Sarah.
It's particularly from Sarah. It's cringe. It's cringy. It's kind of stilted, and it's meant to be at times, but then you get to the point where it's like, oh, she's a real great dancer, and you're still a bit like, oh, okay. That final dance, the showpiece, the showcase, it hasn't aged particularly well.
No.
And also there's one thing that really pissed me off.
What's that?
Is that the character of Sarah, she's a ballet dancer.
Mm-hmm.
A wonderful ballet dancer.
Yeah.
She could have gotten into Juilliard if she hadn't killed her mum by a dance. Why does all of her rhythm disappear the moment she hears a slight bit of hip hop music? The slightest bit, and all of her rhythm goes out. Like, Sarah, you have no rhythm whatsoever. Look, this white girl, she has no rhythm. She's a ballet dancer. She has to have some.
Yeah.
Surely. To be like, I understand that the film is trying to talk about the differences between ballet and hip hop dancing, sort of the two cultures, and I get that, and she molds them and she creates somewhere in the middle between hip hop and ballet. But surely she has to have some sort of rhythm. There has to be something there. So. But it's the joke is, it just doesn't work. It falls flat because it's not logical.
But I feel like the film's not in on the joke.
No.
And that's the problem, is I feel like the film wants us to believe she's a good hip-hop dancer.
By the end.
After the initial moment of her not being able to do it.
Yeah.
I feel like by the time we get to the third or fourth scene of her doing it, we're meant to think that she's good.
Yeah, because she's being taught by... oh my god, what is his name? Because what is his name?
Sean Patrick Thomas.
Yeah, no, not Sean Patrick. The character's name, Derek. Because she's being taught by Derek, and so it's the two of them coming together. The white girl and the black man coming together, and their cultures coming together and creating something beautiful. And the last dance being their two worlds coming together, like a Romeo and Juliet story. My problem is that the film itself, I think, it's too on the nose.
It is,
and it's cringy.
Yeah, it is constantly. It constantly feels like it's inches away from having a white savior complex. Like it feels like it's always flirting with the idea. It's just on the edge of it, and by the time it finishes, it doesn't, which is great to see.
And it does, I feel like, plays on stereotypes.
It does play on stereotypes.
Well at times.
I feel like it is a film that, is trying to take a look at cultural identity and interracial romance.
Yes.
It's incredibly heavy-handed.
Yes.
But it's still intriguing. It's not the worst. Like, you compare it to something like Dangerous Minds, where the themes are completely lost on the white savior complex that takes over. Because this doesn't go to that point, it kind of lets the themes lie where they are, and it works. And obviously you can't miss the other themes of ambition, grief, pursuing your dreams, pushing yourself, and so on. Those are more basic and straightforward. But the other themes that I feel like it does deal with them well, and it's not an awful film. It's not an awful film by any means. It is massively a 2001 film in the way it's executed. Like, if it was made now, it would be done way better. Someone who could actually dance would be cast.
Yeah.
And it would probably delve deeper. But for 2001, I think it maybe goes as far as it could have gone for that time, if you're trying to please everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is if this film feels like it's just made to please everyone from all corners.
Yeah, I think for me, the moment it started with train tracks.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, okay, this is the girl getting with the guy from the wrong side of the tracks, I just thought, okay, it's going to be really obvious about everything,
Yeah.
and it was. But I do think there was a lot of charm to it, a lot of nostalgia. It made me feel nostalgic.
Well, I was going to
watching
say,
it again.
what did you gather from your essay as a 12-year-old watching this?
I would say probably from my essay as a 12-year-old, I probably would have been like, I really enjoyed this film. The dancing was really cool. I love how love can conquer everything. And despite them both being from different backgrounds, obviously not really fully understanding the nuances, but both of them being from different backgrounds, I love how they found each other and found love.
And that would have been a very progressive essay.
I think so. I mean, I got the film, but I don't remember verbatim what I said in the essay.
I mean, what about its place within Sex, Friendship, and the American Dream and this podcast?
I think it's interesting in that it does speak on race. That it is a film about race. That the major theme of the film is love between a white girl and a black man.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do think it's important. I don't think there's a huge amount of films that tackle that.
No.
From what we're covering. And I think it's important because of that. Yeah, again, yes, it's heavy-handed. I get it. But I do think it is an important message there.
Yeah,
and
no, of course.
I would hope that going forward, we can say that same message again in a more nuanced kind of way.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, it has an IMDb rating of 6.2 out of 10, a Letterboxd rating of 3.1 out of 5. I give it 3 out of 5.
I give it 3 out of 5. Some people really hate the film.
Yeah.
Like, really hate the film. I think their biggest bugbear is the dancing itself, and then they just... It tarnishes the whole film for them.
I mean, I'm not in a rush to rewatch it.
No,
so...
but I think there's some charm there, definitely.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed most of the performances.
Soundtrack rating, 10 out of 10.
Absolute 10 out of 10. Be Faithful by Faith Evans and Fat Man Scoop is a top tier banger.
And is that your favourite song of the soundtrack?
That certainly is.
Mine is You Can Do It by Ice Cube, Mac 10 and Miss Twa.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely incredible soundtrack.
Fashion rating, it would have been a 10 out of 10 if it wasn't for Julia Stiles bringing the mood down with those fucking awful outfits.
Do you think so? Because I think Kerry Washington's outfits are not good.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, they're better than fucking Julia Stiles. 7 out of 10 from me.
There are some great club outfits in the film. I've given it 6 out of 10. Because there are some great club outfits in the film. Sometimes Julia Stiles toes the line of being a little inappropriate.
Yeah.
But then she's kind of invited into that culture anyway, so we won't get into that. But some of Kerry Washington's outfits age her terribly.
Oh, yeah.
Her hair ages her terribly. She's meant to be a teenager, but at times, and Kerry Washington is obviously a very beautiful woman, but sometimes she looks twice her age with these outfits. And that hair. Yeah.
Believable Teens, no, which is hilarious because Julia Stiles was actually 19.
Oh. Yeah, I'm going, not really, no.
But yeah, moving on from Saving the Last Dance to Donnie Darko.
It was as though this plan had been with him all his life. Now, in his 15th year, crystallized with the pain of puberty.
I've been seeing stuff.
I think what you're talking about is an act of God.
Come closer. Time's running out.
Donnie Darko.
We're just gonna stop.
Rated R. Starts Friday.
Written and directed by Richard Kelly, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Jenna Malone, Drew Barrymore, Mary McDonnell. And the premise is, after narrowly escaping a bizarre accident, a troubled teenager is plagued by visions of a man in a large rabbit suit who manipulates him to commit a series of crimes. Bit of history. On the set of Charlie's Angels, Drew Barrymore and Richard Kelly agreed that her production company, Flower Films, would produce this film for $4.5 million and that Barrymore would play the schoolteacher. Kelly says that if Barrymore hadn't stepped in, this would have gone straight to video or cable television via Stars.
Wow.
So good for Drew Barrymore, because this definitely needed a theatrical release.
Exactly.
At the wrap party, Seth Rogen, who has his feature debut in this film, and Jake Gyllenhaal agreed that they had no idea what the film was about.
Yeah. We'll get into that.
Yeah. This had a big budget for soundtrack, but still not big enough. Some songs in the film were substitutes for songs which filmmakers wanted, but just could not get the rights to. So the dance performance, the Sparkle Motion dance performance, was originally performed to West End Girls by the Pet Shop Boys. Duran Duran's Notorious was redubbed in post-production.
I haven't got an issue with that.
No. And U2's MLK was used in the final scene and then substituted with Gary Jules' cover of the Tears for Fears song Mad World instead. Mad World by Gary Jules would go on to be Christmas #1 in the UK in 2003.
I am very confused by that fact.
That was it was a strange time.
I did not remember, and I think I'd watched Donnie Darko before 2003.
I don't think you did.
No.
Because I seem to remember I showed you it for the first time.
No, I'd definitely seen it before we met.
So you lied to me. Wow.
Do you think I did?
I think you did.
No, I probably forgot it before, so I treated it the first. Sometimes when you haven't watched the film for a long time, you just treat it like it's the first time watch.
But I remember you saying to me, if I'd watched that when I was younger, I'd have been obsessed.
Are you sure?
Uh-huh.
Because I think I owned it.
Wow. No, do you know what? You probably did own it, because this had a really weird thing, Donnie Darko, where not that long after its release, it was given away for free in a newspaper on DVD.
Oh.
And then it started appearing in those cheap DVD box. I can't remember what newspaper, but it started appearing in those cheap DVD box sets. And you could buy it for like 25p in CX.
Oh.
Wild. Because, I mean, no spoiler for the rating, but this film's a masterpiece. But yeah, so weird that going to #1.
But 2 years later.
Yeah.
That's what confused. Like, where did it come from? Because usually here in the UK, if something appears in an advert, that tends to get it back in the charts or in the charts. But I don't remember that being in an advert. That song just came out of nowhere.
I wonder if the director's
Christmas #1
was maybe released in 2003.
Do you think?
Potentially.
Do you think the song was made for the film? Because I didn't really recognise it as part of the film.
Yeah, I mean, I think it probably was made for the film specifically.
It's weird, isn't it? But yeah.
Can't remember what it beat for Christmas #1.
To Christmas #1.
Who won Pop Idol in 2003? Was it Michelle McManus?
Yeah, she didn't go for it. She had a #1, but that wasn't Christmas. Maybe it wasn't it. I mean, no, because it was Girls Allowed the year before, 2002. So maybe that was before the X Factor.
Yeah.
So maybe it was just a lull in between, where it wasn't a reality TV competition winner that got Christmas #1.
But yeah, I don't ever remember particularly liking the song.
No.
Obviously the original I do, but I remember when it was released just being like, I feel like there was something else I wanted to be Christmas #1 that year, so I was really disappointed.
Oh, okay.
But back when it mattered. But yeah, the original advertising material featured a crashing plane. Opening close to September 11th, naturally this was all pulled, resulting in the film tanking at the box office due to lack of advertising. It gained its audience when it was released on DVD, becoming a runaway hit and attracting cult attention. Yeah, this is a cult film through and through. It really was unfortunate with that timing. Because I mean, not that I think it would have made a lot of money anyway.
No.
Because it's so weird. But it does have a life of its own now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it would have been anything more than a cult film, but it would have been nice if it made a little more money. It certainly didn't deserve to be direct to video or to cable.
In the movie theater scene, Richard Kelly originally intended to have Donnie and Gretchen going to see Chud. However, there are problems with finding out who owned the rights to the film. Finally, Sam Raimi came to the rescue by allowing Kelly to use and distort footage from The Evil Dead free of charge.
No.
The scene was filmed at the Aero Theater in California. The Aero closed down in 2003 but reopened in early 2005 and has an annual tradition of showing Donnie Darko on Easter.
Easter. Which is ironic because that's the Halloween scene.
Yes.
Or it's close to Halloween, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so Donnie Darko, I first watched this late teens, early 20s maybe. And it's definitely one of those films that just absolutely blew my mind. In fact, I remember I watched this in college. I watched this in college. We always, if it was a quiet day, we were allowed to go to the library and pick out a DVD and so on. And I'd always heard about Donnie Darko. Obviously, remember the Christmas #1, and wanted to give it a go. And it's just one of those films that, not to sound wanky, but it's more like an experience. I will fully stand on my belief that this is a horror film, and I found it absolutely terrifying. Particularly anything involving Frank.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a creepy costume. I think it's one of those films that people watch, and I think it's a taste decider. It tends to people sort of our age, sort of millennials. It's that film that you watch, and if you like it, you go and seek more.
Yeah.
And if you hate it, you don't go for anything similar.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean. It's because it's such a cliche. Massive cliche, but it's the truth of the matter. It's Lynchian.
The opening scene over The Killing Moon or Never Tear Us Apart, depending on which version you watch, that's Blue Velvet. That is Blue Velvet. Finding something that sets a weird series of events into motion. Obviously, the ear in Blue Velvet, it's a fucking plane jet.
Yeah.
It's whatever. The engine
from a plane
is that item in this film.
Yeah.
And, I feel like there are a few parallels with Blue Velvet. And I watched that a few years later and loved that as well. And I think, this very much was probably the first weird / Lynchian film that I watched. And it really made me realise it was definitely my kind of thing.
Exactly. And it's not for everyone, which is why it's a cult film. But people who watched it at the time were like, I need more of this.
Yeah.
What is this? This weird off sort of cinema where it goes a bit wacky and you don't really understand what you're watching, or you don't really understand the themes. Sometimes the story. Going back to your fact about Jake Gyllenhaal and Seth Rogen not understanding the film, I feel like the more I watch the film, the more I understand what it's about.
Yeah, I feel like I have a different theory every time. But currently, I'm on the fact that I feel like it's a film about fear, love, loneliness, dealing with the effects of mental health struggles, the search for purpose, and the idea of the world ending once you leave school due to a lack of direction. Because Donnie is such an interesting character in that he's so lost within himself in all scenarios. Like, he's so up his own ass, but he's also clearly struggling with his mental health. And he's very sad and very tragic. But it also kind of, it also kind of brings about, especially with his mental health struggles, whether what we're watching is actually happening or if it's in his head and an allegory for what's happening. he's not a reliable narrator.
Mm.
And I think it's what makes it all the more interesting. But it is a coming of age film, and I think it's perfect for this podcast season because I feel like it talks on the darker side of being a teenager and expectations of what is after.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's a film that talks about how one moment can change so much. The fact that he wasn't in bed that day when the engine fell, had repercussions on so many different aspects of everyone's lives.
Yeah.
For good and for bad. And he has to deal with that, and he kind of, his subconscious is reminding him of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he sees other people with direction, other people with purpose. What I like is the visual effect sometimes when he's hallucinating, I think is the word you'd use, where he sees like a bubble coming from people's bodies, and it's physically showing them their direction. It's physically showing where those people are going.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have one. So I think it's also a bit like The Graduate in that sense. The Graduate is very much about post-school, it's post-college in The Graduate, but that anxiety about, oh shit, where is my place in the world? And do I just follow everyone else's lead? Because I also find it interesting that the film is set in the 1980s. But it's a sort of beige and morbid depiction of the 80s. So what we tend to see in films, particularly at the time, but particularly afterwards, we see 80s depicted as colourful and extravagant and big hair and bright coloured outfits, which they were. But then the 1980s was also a time of disillusionment and sadness. It's a time of Ronald Reagan and big business. It's a time of the AIDS crisis. It's quite a morbid time as well. And I think the film, apart from the sparkle motion moment, it is a very sort of deadpan in its humor, sad film. It's super dark. It is, I think it has a reputation of being edgy, and there's a reason for that, because it is a sad film. There's a sadness behind everyone in the film, I feel.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and I think it's very fitting that it was released when it was, as well, during another sad time. But despite this, and despite how creepy it is, and how heavy it is, it also manages to be incredibly camp as well.
Absolutely.
3 of my favorite performances of all time are in this film, and it's Drew Barrymore, Mary McDonnell, and Beth Grant. The 3 of them bring some camp to the film. Drew Barrymore as the teacher is just, she's perfect. Like, it is just, she's a cool teacher, but there's something a bit off with her.
She's disillusioned as well.
Yeah. Mary McDonnell as his mother, I feel like she really gets to do a fair bit in this film, and I think her final scene says so much about any words.
Yeah.
And Beth Grant, I mean, she is phenomenal.
Hilarious.
As the religious conservative teacher taking control of sparkle motion, the Abby Lee Miller of the 80s.
Yeah.
Her line delivery of "I'm starting to doubt your commitment to sparkle motion" is hilarious.
Yes. And her infatuation and her support of the Patrick Swayze character, despite what is revealed about him, is scary. Yeah, it's scary because you have those kind of people, and we have it here in the UK, but in America, it's MAGA. Yeah, it's the way people this day talk about Donald Trump and forgive him for there's so much evidence to suggest, ironically, for the same thing, that Patrick Swayze's character is revealed to Butter, and he loves golf as well.
Yeah,
like,
are
you predicting the future here? So it's a hilarious performance, but there's that underlying darkness to it as well, because she is a bigot.
Yeah.
And she is willing to put everything onto this man, even after it's revealed that he is a terrible, terrible person.
Yeah.
And I love those sort of layers to the film as well. What do you think to his sister, Elizabeth? Because I think she's seen as a progressive young student. She's strongly Democrat. She's for Michael Dukakis to be the next president. And I love the irony of that. The dramatic irony where we as an audience, we know he doesn't win. Yeah. We know that George Bush Sr. wins that election. And again, I think it's another sort of dark layer to the film. Yeah. Knowing that her sort of progressiveness and her excitement at maybe a new chapter after Ronald Reagan is not going to happen. It's not going to come to fruition.
Yeah. I think Maggie Gyllenhaal is fantastic. I think Jake Gyllenhaal is fantastic. Yeah. I think the two of them being siblings in real life really helps add a layer of authenticity to their chemistry on screen. Like the entire family feels fully believable. But Jake Gyllenhaal, obviously, playing such a layered, interesting character, he does such a fantastic job. He really embodies his arrogance perfectly. But makes him really compelling. Yeah, some great performances. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a wonderful film. I think there's a lot to take from it. It's a very clever film. And it's entertaining. It has a deadpan style of humor that I really appreciate. And yeah, Drew Barrymore's character is everything I want to be when I grow up. Yeah. Despite being older than she was in the film. Well, it has an IMDb rating of 8 out of 10. Letterboxd rating of 4 out of 5. My rating is 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. Soundtrack rating is 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Just going back to what I said about the 80s, I love the use of the music from the 80s. Yes. I love that it's not Tiffany, I Think We're Alone, it's not pop music, because again, it's trying to give us another depiction of the 80s. Yeah. It's post-punk, it's a little bit of new wave, but it's the kind of sad indie boy music. Yeah. For me, the best song is Head Over Heels by Tears for Fears. Head Over Heels by Tears for Fears, yes. Fashion rating, 8 out of 10, but not specifically because I like the fashion, but more in what we were saying about its effort to stay away from the usual bright and vibrant 80s, and it adds to the tone of the film. Yes. I give it 7 out of 10. I love its uniforms. I think sometimes that happens with high school films. What was Elizabeth's Halloween costume? Because I was living for that. I'm not sure. I think it was maybe Cleopatra. It's like a bob. Or I was kind of living for that. Elizabeth, she does all right. Rose, I like Rose's outfit. She's very kind of cunty mum. Yes. But not like over the top. Believable Teens, mixed. Yeah, mixed. Some do, some don't. Yeah, it's true. You win some, you lose some. From one cult film to another, it's Josie and the Pussycats.
On April 11th, 3 small-town girls...
You're a great crowd.
Okay, girls, we need the lane now.
...are going big time.
You want to sign us?
I'm a girl from Riverdale. I'm not a rock star.
You gotta believe in yourself.
Rachel Lee Cook, Tara Reid, Rosario Dawson,
No matter what happens, we will always be friends first.
Josie and the Pussycats. Rated PG-13 at theaters Wednesday, April 11th.
Written and directed by Harry Elfont and Deborah Kaplan. Based on Josie and the Pussycats by Dan DiCarlo and Archie Comics. And starring Rachel Lee Cook, Tara Reid, Rosario Dawson, and Alan Cumming. And the premise is a girl group find themselves in the middle of a conspiracy to deliver subliminal messages through popular music. And a bit about this film. The Rachel Lee Cook that you see is not the Rachel Lee Cook that you hear. The singing voice was dubbed by the lead singer of the band Letters to Cleo, Kay Hamley.
Nice. No offense to Rachel Lee Cook. I don't know if she could sing or not, or if she preferred it that way. But Letters to Cleo, rocking band.
They are, and thankfully, we have authenticity in this film because Rachel Lee Cook, Rosario Dawson, and Tara Reid had to go to a band camp for 2 weeks to learn how to play the instruments their characters used in order to look correct on screen. Good. Because it fucking winds me up when people are clearly not playing instruments on screen. It's unnecessary.
Yes.
To say with the consumer economy tone of the film, from beginning to end, there are approximately 73 companies who have product placement shown, from logos to actual items ranging in entertainment, electronics, fashion, food, hygiene, and cars. No money was received from all of the product placements in the film.
Oh.
It was just there so they could prove the point.
That's so clever.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Due to the level of profanity and adult themes, the family-friendly Archie Comics, which published the original Josie and the Pussycat stories, would denounce the film and discourage people from seeing it. Even though, in order to preserve the wholesome image of Josie and the Pussycats, Archie Comics demanded there be a scene where they brush their teeth. It clearly wasn't enough. But strangely, many years later, the comics would not only be fine with, but also promote the television series Riverdale, which is based on Archie Comics stories, which features Josie, Melody, and Valerie as secondary characters, and arguably has a much darker tone and adult themes in the storylines within that. Wild. It was meant to be the first in a series of live-action adaptations of Hanna-Barbera cartoons as well, that would be geared towards the older audiences that grew up with them, with raunchier humour. But sadly, it completely failed. It bombed at the box office, and the failure killed off these plans, and so the following film, Scooby-Doo, would be edited to a PG rating to avoid repeating this film's mistakes. The soundtrack essentially did better than the film. Very well received, certified gold within a month and a half of the theatrical release, and almost 2 decades later, it's still getting re-releases on vinyl. I know there's an alternative universe out there where this film is a massive smash hit and everyone knows it, because that's what deserved to happen. I've liked it the first few times I watched it, but this time around I loved it, and it's so frustrating because this film is amazing. There's no reason as to why this shouldn't have been a massive hit.
Talk about a film that was ahead of its time.
So ahead of its time.
If this film was released now, it would have done big numbers. I genuinely feel that. It feels so progressive in many ways, in the way that it talks about consumerism, the way it talks about the music business, the way it talks about how women are treated in the music business. It's very clever. The humor, I think, is very clever. I enjoyed the majority of the performances. And it remembered to be fun. It remembered to be funny. That Josie and the Pussycats are really fucking cool. I think if you got the Josie and the Pussycats that you got in the Hanna-Barbera cartoon, and the comic books, the ones, if I'm remembering correctly, are like leopard print, Playboy bunny style costumes. An audience in 2001 would have told you to piss off. Like, if I remember correctly, Scooby-Doo wasn't, I know it was PG, but it Like there's Mary Jane jokes in it and such, you know, so it's still kind of in keeping with the audience that grew up with those cartoons. So I don't know why this failed necessarily. Maybe it was because Archie Comics denounced them. Maybe that is why. Or maybe it's because it's led by 3 women, maybe.
And made by a woman as well.
Made by a woman. It was, because it's so funny and fun. It's much better than it had any right to be. Manages to say something. It manages to update the story to the 2000s with great success. Parker Posey and Alan Cumming are both, of course, no doubt, excellent. They make wonderful villains. But still are able to talk about the issues that the film talks about, because I don't just think it speaks on the music business. It is an interesting take, but I feel that could equally be applied to the movie industry. Everyone is disposable when they no longer please the fat cats behind the scenes. Which I think, ironically, considering this was a flop, the directors never directed again. So it just goes to show what the film is about, is how disposable artists are. Directors, musicians, writers. If they're not making money, if they're not making you money, our sponsors money, Pepsi money, then they're not worthy.
Yeah, it is a massive commentary on capitalism. And how there is always something new ready for you to buy all the time without letting the previous product breathe. It's something new is there constantly for you. And everyone feeds into it. We feed into it.
Absolutely.
We brought Dave's Hot Chicken just because they got X-Men 97 toys.
We certainly did.
That
was some nice food.
We brought Burger King to get them.
Off, but it was some nice food.
We brought Burger King to get the Mandalorian and Grogu cups. It really, and it was released at the perfect time, because this was when there was some form of merchandise for everything. And something new had a new brand on it every other week. And, we can look back on it and say, oh, this is charming, this is cute, and so on. But, this film kind of holds a mirror up to it and says, well, this is what's really going on. And this is what happens to the things that were squashed to get you that new product. And,
consume.
It's, I mean, this is pretty much They Live with cunty outfits. So it's wild how, like you said, it's so ahead of its time. And it is incredibly serious, but also so fucking funny. I feel like it's easy to forget how much of a good comedic actress Missy Pyle is. I feel like she's been in a few throwaway films over the years, but in this, she is one of my highlights.
It's a very funny character, considering she really suits no purpose in the film. And the film references that.
Like the fourth wall break when she's asked why she's there, and she's like, because I'm in the comics. It's so funny because it's so unexpected.
It's like, why are you here? We don't need you as a character. That's so funny.
Like when they're all in the bathroom discussing whether to go for this record deal they've been offered, and she's just there doing her makeup. Just these little things, so funny.
Things.
And the dynamic between Rachel Lee Cook, Tara Reid, and Rosario Dawson is so believable. They actually play a believable band, which isn't always the easiest thing to achieve in films about bands.
I feel like those 3 characters maybe could have been fleshed out a little more. I do. They were very likable, but I think there could have been a little more to them. I thought their storyline between the 3 of them was maybe a little cliched.
Do you think that's the point?
I don't know.
In that they're just another disposable band.
Yeah, because I think we could, but they were friends first and foremost, like a chosen family. I think maybe the time that we had, and I get that he was a character in the comics, but it could have been quite progressive to not have had a love interest, because he took up a bit of time that could have been given to the 3 bandmates. The 3 women. Yeah, I think if you could have made the film solely about female solidarity, I think that would have been great. And I love Tara Reid, and I think she's a great comedian, and she's definitely playing to her strengths here. But the dumb blonde shtick, I think it got a little tired by the end.
Okay.
I thought because it was so forward thinking in so much of the film, I just think there was a few aspects where I was like, could have actually reined them in. Do you know who would make a fantastic remake of this?
Who?
Greta Gerwig.
Yes.
Thinking about it, it reminds me a little of Barbie.
Yeah.
You know, you don't just want a Greta Gerwig to do the same thing over and over again.
No, but it is very much...
I feel like she could tell a very similar story because it's still very much resonates now, 25 years later.
Yeah.
That's why it was so ahead of its time in that sense, because it's still so true now. I think, maybe if she's listening, Greta, give it a go.
I think so. Well, it has an IMDb rating of 5.7 out of 10. And with the IMDb crowd, I can't say I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's very harsh.
Letterboxd, it has a 3.6 out of 5, which I think is a sign of the reappraisal. I have constantly given it 4 stars over the years, but I've finally given it 5 stars.
I give it 4 out of 5.
Soundtrack rating, 10 out of 10.
We've had some fucking good soundtracks this episode. 10 out of 10.
Best song for me is 3 Small Words by the titular band.
3 Small Words is a top tier banger.
Fashion rating, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. So cool. Fiona's couture is high camp. Loved it. Even de jour pull off some great outfits.
Believable teens? No.
No. Are they meant to be teens?
Yes.
Okay. Well, no.
I mean, I hope so. That's why we're discussing it.
But is it not a film marketed at teens?
Yes,
because
but I think it is both.
We won't talk about Scooby-Doo because that's a family film.
Yeah.
Whereas this, because it was slightly edgier, was it a teen audience?
Well, I mean, it depends really, because are the Scooby Gang meant to be teenagers?
They are, but I don't think the film is targeted towards teenagers.
I don't know.
Because like you said, this was targeted somewhere between kids, older kids, and some of the adults who grew up with the Archie comics.
But Scooby-Doo was written as so.
Right.
Okay, we'll discuss this off the podcast, and you'll find out next episode if we're discussing Scooby-Doo. Next up, we have Ghost World. A film definitely not written for kids.
No.
Ghost World. The underground comic book comes to life.
We have to get together this summer.
Yeah, that'll definitely happen.
Do you serve beer or any alcohol?
After about 5 minutes of this movie, you're gonna wish you had 10 beers.
Written and directed by Terry Zwigoff.
Terry Zwigoff?
I've never said that out loud before. That is unbelievable. That can't be that man's real name.
Terry Zwigoff?
His name cannot be Terry Zwigoff. Oh my god. That is so camp. Terry Zwigoff. Jesus Christ.
Is that his real name?
That's a fucking drag name.
That could be that would be Tara Zwigoff.
Oh my god.
Tara Zwigoff. Tara Zwigoff. Wait, no.
Wow. Terry Zwigoff.
Zwigoff.
What a name. Mr. Wigoff. Co-written by Daniel Close and also based on his comic book. Starring Thora Birch, Scarlett Johansson, Brad Renfro, and Steve Buscemi. And the premise is 2 eccentric best friends graduate high school and respond to a man's romance-seeking newspaper ad as a gag, only to find their lives becoming increasingly complicated. And a little bit about this film. According to Terry Zwigoff, Steve Buscemi was so uncomfortable playing the role of Seymour that whenever shooting was finished for the day, he would immediately change his clothes so he could look completely different.
Yeah. He looked uncomfortable.
Yeah.
During I mean, that's
Which
clearly
I thought was
the point.
of the character.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Daniel Close and Terry Zwigoff presented Afonso Beato with the task of making a comic book look to the film. They asked for a fresh technique. Early examples of the form, such as X-Men and Dick Tracy, were dismissed as literal-minded and insulting to the art form.
Oh.
According to Close, cameraman Beato really took it to heart. Carefully studying the style and colour of the original comics, the final cut is just slightly oversaturated, purposefully riddling of the way modern world looks, where everything is trying to get your attention at once. And all those little details, they elevate the film.
I love the look of the film. Yeah, fantastic.
It wasn't an easy sell to mainstream audiences, which got studios thinking of the strangest ways to make it more accessible. According to Terry Zwigoff, one executive suggested that they have a bus at the end with the destination art school spelled out on it. Another suggested a double wedding where Enid marries Seymour and Rebecca marries Josh.
That sounds awful. If you watch the film, that's an awful ending.
The first film based on a graphic novel or comic book to receive an Oscar nomination for Best Adapted Screenplay.
Come on.
And Dave Sheridan, who we previously discussed playing Doofy in Scary Movie, reprised his character of Doug Wilson in Red Hot Chili Peppers' music video for the song By the Way as a cab driver.
Yeah.
Music videos were big at this time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in one of the films coming up, there's another big music video to talk about, but they were really fucking big. And I remember that music video was never off Kerrang. I don't think a day went by where I didn't see that video on Kerrang.
Yeah. And then you would have a lot of stars of the film in the... And we've seen it before.
And that's not even a song for the film.
Yeah.
That's just a random song.
Yeah.
But that he happened to appear in.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ghost World, Chris's personality in 2001.
It certainly was. I had this film on VHS, and when I tell you, I was obsessed. I wanted to live out this film. Which in hindsight is scary.
Wow, you must have been horrible.
I think I wanted to be horrible. I think that was the problem. But yeah, I totally made this my personality. I loved it. I sought out all the little the songs from the film, like the Buzzcocks. I started listening to them from the film. I watched American Beauty because of this, and Scarlett Johansson films, and I really, I was obsessed. It was one of those formative films in my life that I watched it and I was like, wow, I fucking love that. I'm gonna watch that again and again. And I have.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a fantastic film. I think it's so funny, so dry. I think it informed my sense of humor massively. There's a very dry sense of humor. I think the direction is fantastic. I thought the characters were fascinating. I genuinely think Enid is one of my favourite characters in film history.
Yeah.
Because she's complicated, she's relatable, she's flawed, and she's interesting. She's an interesting character. And I think I've read the comic?
Yeah.
The graphic novel. A long time ago, after I'd seen the film, but a while ago. But I remember Rebecca had a much bigger role in that, and Seymour had a much smaller role.
Yeah.
In this film, Enid is the main character.
Yeah.
It's her story from start to end. I think Flora Birch is perfection in the role. Now, Christina Ricci was meant to have it, but she couldn't do it.
Yeah, but it makes
And
sense.
Thora Birch took over. Christina Ricci, I think, would have been fantastic as well. Don't get me wrong. But Thora
She
Birch,
pretty much plays that that character in the opposite of sex.
Yeah, it's true actually. But Thora Birch is fantastic. I've got a lot to say about Enid.
Yeah.
I do find the other characters interesting. I think Rebecca does get sidelined.
I think it's on purpose because, I mean, obviously, this is written by the same writer as the comic book, so all these decisions were clearly carefully calculated. And I think with Rebecca, I think she's an example of someone who is trying to be what Enid is doing because she's been hanging around for so long that it's just the norm. But actually, as Enid is distracted with the whole Seymour thing, Rebecca is kind of living out a life that is incredibly simple and straightforward. What it could be for Enid if she wasn't so focused on this character that she's created of herself.
Yeah. I think a big question I had whilst watching it this time were Enid and Rebecca great friends, or did they just hate everyone else?
Yeah.
Like, is it because you don't want to be friends with everyone else?
Yeah.
You're the last two in the room, and therefore you think that's a great friendship? Because I think Rebecca wanted to be like Enid, but I think Rebecca had a little taste of a normal life, and she realised, actually, that is what I want. I do want somewhere that's my own, somewhere to live. I do just want some money. She does want a boyfriend, but a boyfriend who maybe we would say is generic looking, or a generic sort of hot guy, because there's a few men that she is attracted to who are your NSYNC types. Whereas Enid, she tries to curate so much of her life to be different that of course she falls for someone like Seymour.
Yeah.
Because he's so different. But I don't think that's really truly who she is. Because Enid is a character who is completely directionless.
Yeah.
She has absolutely no idea what she wants or what she wants to do. She pushes people away before they can reject her. I think a lot of her decisions come from a place of fear. She has an incredible superiority complex.
Yeah.
She talks down to so many people. But I think it's all from not to sound like Patrick Swayze and Donnie Darko, but it's all from a place of fear. I think also this time round, I fully realised how cruel that prank is.
Yeah.
Rebecca and Enid, they tried to justify it by assuming that Seymour is a bad or a weird person. And they assumed that this has probably happened to him many times, so that kind of relinquishes them of full blame. They kind of justify their bad behaviour, but it is very cruel.
It is.
It's not nice. Now, Seymour is also an interesting character because he does do something later on which isn't very nice. He is nuanced in himself, but we can't. They just assume that.
It's, the film is a masterclass in making unlikable characters compelling to watch. Because they're unlikable, they're flawed, but they're also incredibly grounded and incredibly human. Something that I failed to realise the first time I watched is where I just felt uncomfortable for a lot of the film. And it's a film that does make you feel uncomfortable because it's a film that's realistic and, focuses very much on real life. And again, like Donnie Darko, life after school and life without direction. And none of the characters in this film have any direction, and they have a refusal. I mean, when you look at Enid and Seymour, they have a refusal to move forward because it's easy to stay in the past and constantly do the same thing, despite the clear evidence that moving forward is the healthy thing to do. When you look at Seymour and his collecting, is he collecting from a healthy place? I don't particularly think so. I feel like he's just trying to stay in the past. When you look at the sort of records he collects, and then the relationship with his mum, and then when he meets the woman that he put the ad out for, it kind of, it's a sign of a good thing. She was good for him. She made him happy. Enid is someone who's clearly not good for him. Someone he clearly could see was not good for him, but he wants her more. And I think that's the thing, is these characters, they're looking for complicated ways forward in life. They're not looking for the easy way out, even though that's probably the better thing to do.
Yeah, it feels like maybe Seymour is reluctant to make any sort of decisions. He's obviously loves something and he's passionate for something. So I think Enid sees his passion. I think she sees that as a positive though, because she's very. Obviously, it all comes from a very cruel prank against him, but she comes around to him and and sees him as a good friend, because I think she's somewhat enamored by his ability to truly be interested in something and to truly be knowledgeable. Do you know what I mean? Whereas there's a scene where she listens to that vinyl of blues music. And I think she falls in love with the music because it has emotion and sincerity.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that she sees as missing in her own life. And Seymour's love for blues music is very sincere. Now, it probably does come from a place of being stuck in the past, or that a nostalgia. But it's a sincere one, because he's really passionate about something, definitely. And she's not passionate about. One scene that I find interesting is when she dyes her hair, and she goes to whatever the store is, it a comic store or somewhere, and she gets ridiculed for it, and she says, "Well, this is obviously an original 70s punk rock look, and no one understands." She said, "Well, everyone's stupid. No one understands but me." But then after that scene, directly after that scene and that ridicule, she changes her hair back straight away to black. There's no real commitment to anything, especially when it isn't perceived as cool. And I think there's one character in the film that does have direction, and it's the old man waiting for the bus.
Yes.
He has direction and he has determination, and he sits at that bus stop every day and he waits for a bus that shouldn't appear because that bus stop is closed. But he has direction and he has determination, and I won't spoil it, but who knows, that maybe could work out in his favor.
Even the girl from their school, the girl that's, like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And they just make fun of her.
Yeah, they ridicule her.
But she's actually got a life in order.
For having sincerity.
She knows what she wants to do.
It's kind of the same as how we spoke about Suburbia. Where is it uncool to want stuff? Is it cool to hate everything? And I think that is the main theme of the film. And I think that is the main theme of Enid's character. Because even when it comes to things that she's good at, she cannot commit to it. Like, one thing I love is the scene where in the art class they discuss Enid's found painting, which depicts an offensive racial stereotype. The only black student in the room doesn't like it, doesn't appreciate it being there, and it doesn't think, it should be shown. But the conversation from the white teacher and Enid is about the whitewashing of racism. And I think that's a real painful and uncomfortable irony. But she's found, in doing that in the art class, she has actually found something that she's good at, that people are supporting. I think it's a funny scene in the irony of it. But she doesn't commit to it. She doesn't commit to the art class. Enid, her reaction to a potential scholarship, it's quite sad, really. because it is a great opportunity for her and for some direction. But again, she thinks that the whole thing is beneath her. She thinks everything's beneath her. And that's the sad fact of the film and the character. It makes her flawed, but makes her incredibly interesting.
Well, it has an IMDb rating of 7.3 out of 10. Letterboxd rating of 3.6 out of 5. And it's 5 out of 5 from me.
5 out of 5.
Soundtrack rating, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Best song is for What Do I Get by the Buzzcocks.
Nice. I love that. Love that song. But I went with Devil Got My Woman by Skip James. A wonderful blues song.
So cool.
So cool. I like blues music.
Still trying to be Enid. What do you Fashion rating is 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Enid is a fashion icon when she's not trying too hard. That punk look didn't work because she was trying too hard.
Yeah.
But her general style, I love it. I would love that dinosaur t-shirt.
Believable teens? Yes.
Yes, actually. Yeah, I think Scarlett Johansson was quite young, wasn't she?
I believe so,
In the
yeah.
film, yeah.
Well, for something a little less edgy, it's The Princess Diaries.
Mia dreamed of something more.
This is as good as it's gonna get.
But Destiny had even bigger plans.
You are Princess of Genovia.
Me?
From the director of Pretty Woman.
Just in case I'm not enough of a freak, let's add a tiara.
It's up to her to make her dreams come true.
Do you think she can do it?
A toast?
Disney's The Princess Diaries. Rated G. Starts Friday, August 3rd.
Directed by Garry Marshall. Written by Gina Wenkos. Good names, but they're no Terrence Zwigoff, are they? Based on The Princess Diaries by Meg Cabot. And starring Anne Hathaway, Julie Andrews, Heather Matarazzo, Mandy Moore. And the premise is Mia Thermopolis has just found out that she is the heir apparent to the throne of Genovia. With her friends Lily and Michael Moskovitz in tow, she tries to navigate through the rest of her 15th year. We had the theatrical debut of Seth Rogen earlier. In this film, we have the theatrical debut of Anne Hathaway. In the next one, we have the theatrical debut of Chris Evans. Ooh. So it's quite interesting that 2001 was a year that we got some pretty big stars.
We did.
Making their debut. During auditions, Anne Hathaway fell out of her chair and was immediately given the part as clumsy Mia Thermopolis. However, there's another story that Garry Marshall's granddaughters watched the tapes of actresses auditioning for the role, and they confided in their grandfather that he should hire Anne Hathaway because she had good princess hair. How Disney.
There we go.
Garry Marshall, way too old to be directing this film?
I mean, he did a good job.
He did a very good job.
He was too old. I didn't realise who Garry Marshall was. And I didn't realise that he directed this film. But yeah, he was in his 60s.
Yeah.
When the film came out. So obviously most famous for... Well, I think he created Mork and Mindy, The Odd Couple and such. But in terms of film directing, Pretty Woman, like he's pretty prolific, really. I had absolutely no idea that he did this.
Mia's cat, Fat Louie, was Anne Hathaway's pet in real life. 4 different cats played the role. One who allowed people to carry it, one who could sit still, another one who would jump, and the last one who sits on the envelope at the end of the film. Dame Julie Andrews' jewellery and tiara for the final part of the film was $500,000 worth of real diamonds on loan from Harry Winston.
Oh, tell me all about it.
Anne Hathaway's tiara was made specifically for her and was considerably cheaper. Instead of diamonds, her tiara was comprised of cubic zirconia.
Yeah, she's quite clumsy.
She is. And finally, if you notice some weird mouthing going on during the final celebratory dance scene, the Madonna song Like a Prayer was played on a boombox to elicit natural dancing from the actors and actresses on set, to be then dubbed over by the song that appeared in the final cut. The assistant director had to do multiple takes of this scene because the actors and actresses kept mouthing the words to like a pro.
Taste.
Yeah.
Best pop song ever.
So the Princess Diaries. The Princess Diaries was a film I owned on VHS when it first came out.
Okay.
My nan brought it for me, and my parents had the absolute cheek to be shocked when I came out of the closet. This film is high camp, and by all accounts, I feel it was successful at the time, but it's also very much a cult film.
Yeah, people really fucking love it now.
You know, I think there's an argument to be said for all of the films we're talking about today being cult films now. This has a massive following within our community.
Will you look at no spoiler for the actual rating, but 26% of users, that's 341,478 people on Letterboxd, rated it 5 stars.
Yeah.
Now, I remember watching this a while ago, not when it came out. I feel like it was slightly after. I feel like I potentially watched it on TV rather than had the VHS or DVD. And I enjoyed it. Like, I did enjoy it. It was a cheesy Disney film. I loved Julie Andrews and Anne Hathaway. You know, I didn't really know at that point. I think it was before Devil Wears Prada came out and such. But yeah, people really love it. I think it has a huge amount of nostalgia for people.
It definitely does.
And I think we live in times where sometimes a film that is nostalgic to us, you rewatch it and it's either not as good as you remember or it's problematic.
Yeah.
And I think with Princess Diaries, it holds up.
Yeah.
Because it still has just as much charm as it did back then.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, there's nothing offensive, there's nothing problematic. It's just a really charming, cute, cheesy film.
Mm-hmm. The second entry in, it's my second favourite entry in the Anne Hathaway is taught a lesson in better fashion by an Oscar winner and has an awful friend called Lily. So
there we go.
Yeah. There are a lot of parallels.
Is that because Lily was better in Devil Wears Prada 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of parallels here to The Devil Wears Prada, which is interesting. And I feel like this film does have something to say about young people in the spotlight and the pressure of fame. No subtlety, of course.
No.
But I think it's dealt with as well as it could be in a film like this. And obviously, you know, the problem of the fact that we do not like royals plays a part in the enjoyment of the film, I think. And also, it's hard to ignore the fact that Mia is the epitome of white privilege.
Yes.
But it is a Disney film from 2001.
Yeah.
So the cynical side of
Yeah.
me can be pushed aside because I really do think there is so much to enjoy here.
There is a whole lot to enjoy, and I did roll my eyes sometimes. I was like, oh, okay, sorry, poor little Mia. She, how will I become a princess? I just think I was like, oh, okay. People are dying, Kim. People are dying.
Which is funny because put it in comparison to the previous film we discussed and the complete different attitude of the lead characters.
Yeah.
You know, Enid in Ghost World was rebelling against life and not wanting, you know, she didn't really have anything handed to her. She had nothing going on, really, which is why she did the prank on Seymour. Whereas in this, Mia is given so much. And that's what she's complaining about.
But she doesn't feel like she has a choice.
Yeah.
I suppose that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you're telling me that I am this.
Yeah.
But that might not be who I'm still at that age where I still feel like I haven't decided who I am. Mm-hmm. And you're now telling me that I am this person.
Yeah.
Because she is clumsy. She has big frizzy hair, which I loved.
She looks like Nancy Thompson.
Yes, yeah. This is really... There are scenes where Anne Hathaway at the beginning looks like Nancy Thompson from A Nightmare on Elm Street, poor Heather Langenkamp, and they're like, "Oh God, how awful!" Do you look at
Yeah.
excuse me, Heather Langenkamp getting strays. But do you think so? I'm looking at the Princess Diaries, and I'm realizing that it says Princess Di. Do you think that this could be based on the story of Princess Diana? Because I know that the whole world thought that Princess Diana was dragged up from the gutter and made into a princess. She wasn't rich beforehand. She was the people's princess because she was just like all of us. Do you think this was based on Princess Diana?
Never know. You never know. Do you think they actually wanted to do the secret diary of Princess Di? Laura Palmer style. I hope that's what's going on here. But yeah, Anne Hathaway, it's so clear to see how she became the star she is now.
Absolutely. She has always had immense charm, and this just proves it. Seeing this is her first feature film, she's a lead, which can be a big task for a young actress. But she makes a wonderful leading lady. She always had. I love Anne Hathaway.
Yeah,
and she's so good in this. Also, Julie Andrews.
Oh yeah,
very good. I feel like Julie Andrews gives the film legitimacy.
Yes,
I think it gives. I think her presence, and she plays it quite straight at times. And I think that helps the film.
Yeah.
And it helps you to take it all a little more seriously. She's not over the top. She doesn't need to be over the top. But I also think Anne Hathaway isn't over the top either.
No.
There are slapstick moments, but they're not like, whoa, whoa, kind of slapstick.
But I think,
not necessarily.
Yeah.
So over the top.
I think we're also looking at the film, though, as in Julie Andrews is playing royalty, but to anyone who's a film fan, she is royalty.
Yeah,
you know, and I think that's what helps as well. And I
Great
like that.
casting.
You know, what her first scene with Mia, how she recreates her Sound of Music. Let me have a look at you.
Yeah.
Moment. That was Sound of Music and not Mary Poppins, right?
It would be Mary Poppins.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to down by the rest of the gays. But anyway, yeah. Do you know who also steals scenes with approximately 2 minutes of screen time?
Who?
Sandra Oh.
Yes.
Like, she's literally given, like, 2 scenes and she's phenomenal.
She's very good.
But it's a really great cast and it's a really great film. But why is there a love interest? Like, Robert Schwartzman, fine enough job as Michael. The character is so forced.
I didn't think there was any chemistry between him and Princess Mia.
No.
Like, I didn't think there was any chemistry whatsoever. I probably more, and I've actually questioned this quite a few times during this season. But I think maybe in this film it's the most
it disrupts the pacing.
Yeah.
I think it disrupts the pacing here, and it does make a difference because it didn't need to be there. And yeah, it doesn't work. It's the only thing that doesn't work.
Yeah. Because he kind of falls out with her. Because and Lily is part of this as well.
She's awful.
She's terrible. And she's like, oh, well, you've upset my brother. I was like, why have you upset? How has she upset your brother? Oh, because you didn't go out with him. Despite him never explaining that he fancied her.
Yeah.
Never, always being super awkward around her. Like,
genuinely,
fuck off, incel.
Like, she is maybe the worst best friend in cinema history. Like, she is such a hater. She's horrible.
She's really a hater.
She actually makes her cry at one point. She actually makes Mia cry. Like, I don't know why she's still hanging around with her.
Yeah, she's actually awful. She's horrible. But then Mia turns around and says, well, you got ugly hair anyway, so fuck you.
Yeah. But yeah, you could have removed Lily and Michael, the evil siblings. You could have removed them and you would have had a much better film.
I think if you'd made Lily a little less harsh. Like she was just like, you look off. Like she'd had a makeover. And she's like, oh no, you look terrible. You look awful.
It's very
clearly out of
Devil
place of
Wears
jealousy.
It's that very Devil Wears Prada thing where it's like, oh, you're taking care of yourself, are you? Ugh,
yes,
disgusting.
It's true. There are there are a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, I think where it falls into the season though is looking at younger people in the spotlight, and especially it's very relevant around this time when paparazzi are at their absolute fucking worst.
Of course. I mean, there's literally a scene where the paparazzi take photos of her changing. Now she's 15. And Mandy Moore, she's horrible in this film. I don't know why she gets a random singing part as well. Mandy Moore was obviously a singer.
I'm glad she does.
She does. I enjoyed it. But she sets it up so that it's revealed that Mia is changing, and the paparazzi are taking photos and such, and it's like, actually, that's highly inappropriate.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at this point, you know, the paparazzi ruined Britney Spears' life.
Well, so many.
So many of the celebrities.
I mean, I'm not being funny. Princess Di.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
if you don't believe in, what's it called? Conspiracy theories.
Hey, we didn't say he wasn't paid by the royal family. But anyway, IMDb it has a rating of 6.4 out of 10. Letterboxd it has a 3.7 out of 5. Again, a very clear distinction between the Letterboxd audience and the IMDb audience. My rating, I get 4.5 out of 5.
I give 4 out of 5.
Soundtrack rating, I give this one an 8 out of 10.
I give it 8 out of 10 as well. Oh my god, we're so on the same page.
The best song is Hold On by Bewitched. They loved a bit of Bewitched in American teen films back then.
I went with I'm Supergirl by Crystal Harris. Which Anne Hathaway was in the music video for, serving burgers.
Yeah.
Because she's just like us.
Fashion rating, 10 out of 10.
I went with 8 out of 10.
Oh.
Because that dress at the dinner, I thought was horrible. I thought there were a few outfits as Mia as a princess that I thought aged her and weren't very flattering. But yeah, maybe add a few more for Bonnie Aarons being
yes,
cunty.
Yeah, the nun is in this. The person behind the restaurant in Mulholland Drive is in this film. This is
the same year as Mulholland Drive as well. That's crazy. That is range.
It is. And finally, for the final film of the episode,
Believable Teens.
Oh, Believable Teens, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
For the final film of the episode, we have Not Another Teen Movie. Directed...
Yeah, which one?
Not Another Teen Movie.
On December 14th. Welcome to the party, guys.
Hungry?
This is not another holiday movie. And it's not a feel-good movie. And it's definitely not an Academy Award-winning movie.
You better bring it. Oh, it's already been brought.
It's not another teen movie. Directed by Joel Gallen. Rated R.
Directed by Joel Gallen.
What, a kid's film then?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Or a porn film? Which one is it?
Written by Michael G. Bender.
What did you just call me?
Adam J. Epstein, Andrew Jacobson, Phil Bauman, and Buddy Johnson. I really like this film. Why does it have 5 writers?
Are they like the most American names you've ever heard?
Starring Shyla Lee, Chris Evans, Jamie Presley, and Mia Kirshner. The premise is a send-up of all the teen movies that have accumulated in the past 2 decades. And this is, of course, the feature film debut of Chris Evans. The original title was simply Teen Movie, but was ditched as the film got more and more unteen. Then the title was changed to Not a Teen Movie. Then it was changed to Not Another Teen Movie because of all the parodies and the fact that there were so many teen movies before it.
Yeah, I suppose teen movie would make it seem like it's from the same people as Scary Movie.
Yeah. The studio...
Kind of the same kind of thing.
Yeah, it is. The studio was unhappy with the original ending of the film, prompting the makers of the film to seek Molly Ringwald's help.
Yes.
Shia Lee has admitted to being on cocaine throughout the majority of the film.
Oh, no.
I mean, it makes for a good performance. Nathan West proposed to Shia Lee on set whilst filming one of the She's All That scenes, and as of 2024, they're still married and have 3 children.
Wow. Who did?
And Nathan West, who I don't think had a major role.
Oh. Oh, okay. I was wondering who he played.
Yeah.
But I recognise the name.
Nathan
West.
I mean...
Oh, they got divorced in 2005. By the way.
Oh, that's an old bit of trivia.
Oh, Nathan West was in Bring It On.
Oh, there we go. So,
I'm sorry if I ruined.
Well, when did they get divorced? Sorry,
2025.
2025. Thank you.
Oh, did I say 2005?
Yeah,
oh, sorry.
Nearly. And as I said, coming back to this about a big music video, nearly all the main cast, including Eric Christian Olsen, Mia Kirshner, Eric Jungmann, Jamie Presley, and Chris Evans, also star in, unfortunately, Marilyn Manson's Tainted Love video. Mm-hmm. The video also includes Shia Lee's transformation from Janie to a goth. Incredibly unpleasant human being. Second one we've had to discuss on this episode. But there's no denying this music video was a cultural reset for music videos.
It was pretty iconic. It was on Kerrang all the time.
Yeah. And to think now with who Chris Evans is now that he was in a Marilyn Manson music video is quite funny.
That is random.
So this is the first time that I've watched this, having watched all of the reference points.
Mm-hmm. And I think every single reference point we've watched.
Yeah. And my God, it's so much funnier once you know all the jokes. Mm-hmm. Scary Movie obviously was the launching pad for these parody films. This was next, and then you kind of delved into just what was an onslaught of these awful fucking parody films that shoved the movie on the end of their titles. And it was just constant. There wasn't a year go by in the 2000s where you wouldn't get one, and they only got worse as they went along. This, I'm going to go on record saying, is the best out of all of them. I'd say this is better than Scary Movie.
Yes. Yeah. I think with Scary Movie got sidetracked too much.
Yeah.
Whereas with Not Another Teen Movie, it understands its source material for parody and it just sticks to it.
Yeah.
It's just like, we are parodying these films, you know, this is memorable from American Pie, this is memorable from 16 Candles, this is memorable from She's All That, and we're going to just do that and parody that and make jokes around that. It never, I feel, punches down.
No. There's
no random transphobic jokes.
No.
There's no random gay jokes.
No.
Maybe there's one or two, but not enough for me to be like, oh, you know. Like with Ray in Scary Movie, just over and over. There's no nuance to it. I think even some of the visual gags are very funny.
Yeah.
The one I didn't really enjoy was the shitty toilet scene. I thought that was a little unnecessary because it wasn't really parodying anything. It was just, wouldn't it be funny if this pretty girl had diarrhea and exploded everywhere?
Yeah, but even that was intertwined with the teacher talking about humour and different levels of humour. Lowbrow humour.
Yeah.
Which I think was the purpose of that. I think it actually says something on the depiction of racial minorities in teen cinema. Because when you look back at something like 16 Candles now, it's so fucking racist.
Yeah. I mean, you have Dion Richmond as the token black guy, and that's the joke, and then is it Sean Patrick Thomas that goes to the party, and he's like, no, wait, no, I'm the token black guy. You're not allowed to be here. He's like, oh, sorry, okay. I mean, that's funny. That is funny. And it isn't punching down. It isn't. It's making fun of the films rather than making fun of, black people.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And it takes, like Scary Movie, it takes points from each of these films that are easy to make fun of, and there's sort of moments where you're like, oh, of course, that joke, that makes sense. And it does it so well, and I think, you know, it helps that the cast fully commit to these roles.
Yes.
Like the foreign exchange student and her ever-changing accent, like Shannon Elizabeth, as we discussed in American Pie, her fucking awful accent.
Yes.
It's genuinely just really, really fucking funny. And yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. It is just a really great comedy.
Yeah.
That feels appropriately placed at the end of this episode, at the end of us discussing a lot of fucking teen films.
Yeah, because I'll point out some of my favourite jokes. The coach constantly saying "goddamn,"
yes,
hilarious.
Anything Varsity Blues, it's done perfectly.
Because Varsity Blues is a bad film.
Yes,
and it's nice to see it parodied and ridiculed. Janie's got a gun. That scene, hilarious.
Yeah.
That's gonna stain. So Janie jumps into the pool of her own accord, and then she gets out, and Jamie Presley pours water on her dress.
Yes.
And a girl in the background shouts, "That's gonna stain." That's so stupid and so funny.
Yeah.
Like, so funny. Prom Tonight is a bop.
Yes.
An absolute bop. I love that they got Molly Ringwald to be in the film.
The slow clap guy.
The slow
is really fucking funny.
Guy. Like, yeah. I genuinely just think it's a film that it was funny.
Yeah. One of my absolute favourite jokes is the Never Been Kissed parody. Because they actually get an actual old lady to play the role, they make Drew Barrymore in Never Been Kissed. They make her look so old, considering she's meant to be disguised as a teenager.
It's true.
They make her look so fucking old in that film.
It's true.
So the fact that this went so much further with that is hilarious.
That is so funny.
And of course, the Catherine from Cruel Intentions parody is just take it all the way up to 100.
And the film that gets the most parody and ridicule is She's All That.
Yeah.
Which is, and we've discussed it, which isn't a bad film.
No.
But it's a very silly film.
Yeah.
And it plays on the silliness of that film. And obviously, I think probably the most well-known scene from Not Another Teen Movie is the take the glasses off, ponytail down.
Yeah.
I'm a miracle worker. I've done it. I've made you beautiful.
Also, Good Charlotte are in the film.
They are.
We have a lot of prom bands in teen films, and this one is Good Charlotte, a year before The Young and the Hopeless.
There we go.
Blew them up. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've got to say about Not Another Teen Movie. It's just one of those where it's like, I know these sort of films get a bad reputation, but don't let that reputation put you off from watching this.
Yeah, it's not, obviously it's not groundbreaking cinematic masterpiece, never be the same. But if you have watched teen movies and you enjoy teen movies, the movies that we are talking about, the humor is very funny. It hits the nail on the head so many times with its parody of those films.
Yeah.
And which is all you ask for in this.
It has an IMDb rating of 5.8 out of 10. Ridiculous. Letterboxd rating of 2.8 out of 5. Ridiculous. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
I give it 4 out of 5.
Soundtrack rating 10 out of 10.
Yes, 10 out of 10. It's a lot of...
It's just covers.
Pop punk covers of...
80s
songs.
Which makes sense because the 80s songs represent how this film actually parodies a lot of John Hughes films, and then the pop punk is what you hear in teen films from around this time. So it does make sense.
Yeah.
My favourite of them is Bizarre Love Triangle by Stabbing Westwood.
Well, mine is Rebel Girl by Bikini Kill,
Okay.
which technically isn't a cover, but I love that.
Fashion rating, it's not trying to be a high fashion film. I give it 5 out of 10, but yeah.
I gave it 6 out of 10. It's casual, but it's not offense. Like the prom dresses are nice, but it does go for fashion. It's fine.
Believable Teens, mixed.
I went with mixed, mainly no.
Yeah.
But I think maybe that's the joke.
I think so.
Particularly with one character.
Yeah.
Which we've discussed.
For some honourable mentions, we have Get Over It. Kirsten Dunst, she never fails.
Oh, yeah. Kirsten Dunst was on fire. And then, do you know what? I think she's always been on fire. She always. But I think she really was a teen idol.
Yeah.
At the time. And Get Over It is a charming, fun, campy film based on A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare.
Yeah, we all know the trend.
Taking
90s and 2000s teen films and adapting Shakespeare through them. This does it so well, and it would also make for a great. Kirsten Dunst has a rough time being a theatre actress, is doubted by men, and her love interest pisses her off double bill with Spider-Man 3.
Yes.
But I really love this. I love that it's little weird musical moments that are in there. It's incredibly charming. And I highly recommend it. An absolute masterpiece through and through. If we didn't have so many highlights on this episode of important films, this would have been one of them. Sugar and Spice is crime comedy perfection. Fantastic double bill with Jawbreaker, and it's also from the writer of Drop Dead Gorgeous. Sharp and snappy humour, high camp value, perfect soundtrack, perfect cast, and a perfect ending as well. I love the message, and I love this film.
Yeah, I completely agree. A film about female solidarity and support. Very funny. It's a black comedy, but it's very, very funny. Yeah, I completely agree.
And next up we have Valentine, a film that I believe has 12% on Rotten Tomatoes. And quite frankly, that's disgusting, because this film is amazing.
It's a great slasher film.
Denise Richards, high camp slasher, so much to enjoy, so much to love. I have so much nostalgia for it, and it just
huge.
I went through a little phase of thinking it was bad, but it's not. It's a really fucking good slasher film.
Yeah, it really is actually. It ticks a lot of boxes. It is campy. It is silly at times. It's got a great killer. Yeah, I really, really like Valentine. I watch it a lot.
Yeah. Next up, we have Legally Blonde, a film that absolutely would have been a highlight as well if we didn't have so many important films from this year to discuss.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it teeters on the edge of, is this a teen movie? Because it's about college and graduating college and stuff. But Legally Blonde made a star of Reese Witherspoon. She is fantastic in the film. I love it. It's a film about not underestimating people. Has a wonderful message. Very campy. Very funny at times. Silly. Just a real feel-good comfort movie.
One of those films that's kind of underestimated by people and dismissed as a chick flick. When actually it's incredibly intelligent and should never be dismissed. It's fantastic.
Yeah, chick flicks. I don't really like the term, but they are intelligent. They are. They say something about love and a woman's place in the world. Yeah. They are important, and Legally Blonde shows that.
And for the final two this isn't really a highlight. Final two honourable mentions. Scary Movie 2.
Yes.
They take this one to college, and it's a film that has some hilarious moments, mostly provided by Anna Faris and Regina Hall, but way more awful, dated moments that are just desperate to offend.
Yeah.
And it's just eye-roll inducing. Like, it's... You're never short of disability jokes or sexual assault jokes in this one. All the tropes from the first film are repeated 1,000 times. It's just... Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
It's bland.
I hated it. The humor doesn't land for me. It's that same style of humor, Scary Movie, the first one. Yes, Anna Faris and Regina Hall are very charming. Yes, again, there's many times that they are sidelined for not very funny jokes.
It's also very clear that it was rushed out because the references are all references from films that are, like, at that point, like, 30 to 40 years old.
Well, a lot of them, yeah. I mean, you had the remake of The House on Haunted Hill and The Haunting, whichever one they're going for. But it opens with an Exorcist.
Yeah, and
reference.
there's a
Like,
Poltergeist.
were we not over Exorcist reference parodies in 2001? Like, were we? Like, why are we getting that? It's meant to be fresh and new, and it's not.
I think the most up-to-date reference in it is actually, funny enough, a parody of Save the Last Dance.
Oh, was it?
The one scene where Shorty teaches Cindy how to dance. Genuinely really funny scene. Especially after watching Save the Last Dance. But I feel like that was literally the most updated one, unless you're counting, again, the remakes of these films, like 13 Ghosts is parodied. But yeah, it's not good, ladies. And finally, a film that is good, and a film that actually surpasses the first film for me, American Pie 2. I think American Pie 2 is so charming. It's one of those films that kind of grows on me the more and more I watch it, and I think it explores Jim and Michelle's relationship a little more, which is really cute. Stifler gets embarrassed, which is always good. It's just great. It's just a really fun time. Eugene Levy's a standout again. Jennifer Coolidge is a standout with a very short screen time. Amazing soundtrack. It's just a really fun sequel.
Yeah, I think it's a film that it doesn't get bogged down with that awkward moment from American Pie. It doesn't have that moment where you're like, ugh, this hasn't aged very well. But it hits quite a few notes that the first film did, but then adds to certain things as well, which, yes, I agree.
And that's it. Those are our honourable mentions. Those are our 6 highlights, and that is 2001. You can find us on all social media. No, you can't. Oh my god, I really need to change that. We are on Instagram.
Change it now.
We are on Instagram. Instagram only. We are Rise of the Gay Cinephiles.
I'm sorry, on Instagram.
Yes,
but only Instagram.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Give us a rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen to this. We'd be very grateful. For the next episode, we're diving into 2002, and we're going to be discussing Orange County, Crossroads, Van Wilder, Spider-Man, Sweet 16, The Rules of Attraction, Slapper, She's French, Bend It Like Beckham, The New Guy, Halloween Resurrection, Swim Fan, and maybe Scooby-Doo. Who knows? Who knows? But either way, we'll be back at the same time in the same place with more noughties in 2 weeks' time.
Bye.